Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Chrissy Woods down here in the front. What's up? No, I had to say hi. Good to see you. Today normally would be Cintisha speaking today, but unfortunately she's feeling just enough under the weather that she didn't feel like she could stand up here and talk for a while. So she's sorry. She will be here next week. Next week she will give the talk that she wrote for this week. So make sure you come out for that. But today, Jack Groverland, our Minister Emeritus, is going to be giving our talk today. So I'll look forward to that. For those of you who always come to the 11 a.m. service and haven't seen one of his talks in a while, it should be a real nice treat, so check that out. And also, Cintisha's book group is going to start not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, which is February 7th. It's a 6-week class. It takes place all on Tuesday evenings, so you can definitely sign up for that in the bookstore or online, so definitely check that out. You may have noticed that some of our ushers today are a little on the younger side. That is our YOU, our high school age congregants. They like to help out from time to time. But over in Fellowship Hall following the service, they're also going to be they're also holding a bake sale, which helps them raise money. I know our kids were up all night last night baking a bunch of delicious goods. Go check it out. Pay a little bit too much for a muffin on purpose. They use these bake sales to raise money for when they go to rallies and meet other kids of the same age from other unities all across the country. So it really helps out. A lot of times that money helps for a scholarship for a kid or two who maybe doesn't have the means to pay for that rally. So it's really a neat thing. So go check out that bake sale following the service. First I'd like to ask, is anyone here for the first time today? Oh, we got two right here. Keep your hands up. Our ushers are going to come by. And, we got more back over here. He's coming. Our ushers are going to come by. They're going to give you a free gift that just says welcome and tells you a little bit more about Unity of Boulder. So please enjoy the service. And now I'd like to have our friend Steve Hayes come out here. He's going to give an announcement about our big event that we are having later this afternoon.
Thank you, Mike. There is a golden opportunity this afternoon for this workshop, Embodying Our Wild and Sacred Feminine. I had the privilege of interviewing the 3 facilitators for this, and they are beings of light. And what you get in this experience is a way to meet a deep hunger that we all have. We all have a deep hunger for sacredness and for community and for peace of mind. So this workshop is a way to just meet some of your primary needs and really embody a chance to embody wisdom and a chance to learn what is true for you. It's involving a deck of cards that 2 of the facilitators wrote, and so it's a mix of intuition and spirit-led activities, and it really emerges based on who's there. So it's going to be very creative and involve your intuition. And as you see on there, it is for men and women. I was interviewing them, and I said, if I dress up in a wig, can I come? And they said, no, it's actually for all men and women, any gender, because we all need to be in touch with our sacred feminine. In fact, I came from a men's group that we just did a few months ago, and one of the main things I got out of it was for us men to really achieve our highest as in the masculine sense, we have to be grounded in the feminine. Those higher levels of masculine power and centeredness and focus are not possible unless, as men, we embrace our feminine. So I'm going to be there, and I expect to see a lot of the other men there as well. So look forward to seeing you there. And now what I want to do is, we have this new part of our service now where we really want everyone to be involved with prayer. So where you're sitting, you have pieces of paper in front of you in the aisle and behind the pew. And this is a chance for you to go ahead and write a prayer for anyone in your life that you feel would need some attention, and yourself. Prayer is really about using your co-creative abilities to affirm and manifest that which your heart desires. So we're going to take some time. We're going to sing a song. And Steve here, who's one of our lead prayer chaplains, is going to come down the aisle. And if you could pass the prayers toward the center. So go ahead and take the time right now and record a prayer.
Unity was really founded on prayer. Two people heard a lecture by a woman who really talked about the healing that took place in the Bible. And when they came out of that lecture, they knew they could heal themselves. They were not going to be weak anymore. And so this ministry is all based on healing and prayer and meditation. So when you write these names down and they go on the prayer list, we call them out on Wednesday evening and believe that they are healed. That's how powerful it is. But your belief has to be part of this whole process. And if you can read Unity material, you will come to understand what they understood. So you do have that power of healing yourself and others. So I wanted you to sing with me this wonderful chant. And please stand, because then you're giving your whole body to the Creator. And if you want to raise your hands, anything you want to do, let that feeling come in you, because that's what this is all about. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. Just a little faster. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. You are the love I feel. You are the love I feel. Your holy presence living through me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. One more time, here we go. You are the love I feel. Feel it. You are the love I feel. Your holy presence living where? Living in me. And what I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. Your presence here is wonderful. And let's all get to know each other today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And go ahead and greet each other and say hello to your neighbor. Take a moment just to say hello. And now we have the privilege to hearing some good special music. And they are called the Strange Birds. Actually, the B is supposed to be lowercase, right? Is it capitalized like that?
That's fine.
As long as you spell it with the Y, we're all good.
Okay. So the Strange Birds is composed of, is it pronounced Kari?
Carrie.
Carrie and Ray. And if you go to their website, it says that the Strange Birds have a synergy built on well-honed harmonies and spot-on guitar playing. They perform songs that are insightful, thought-provoking, and relevant to our times. So please help me give a warm welcome to the Strange Birds.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love that video with the bird. Speaking of birds,
Yeah.
that was super duper.
We have a couple of selections off of our. No, we're doing your song. We have a couple selections off our brand new album, and they're kind of timely with the times, and we felt they would be good songs to share with you today. The first one's called "Rootin' for Love."
Rooting for love, which is what we're all doing here, I think. And it came about because we were writing our last album during the whole COVID shutdown, and we were stuck at home. But we have a recording studio at home, so we became productive and finished up our latest album. It's called Highway Islands. And like I say, this song is called Rootin' for Love. And this came about by reading the news and seeing how divided the world was. And I'm a 60s kid, and so I've always been rooting for love, but I thought I'd put it to song, so here we go. Say united we stand, and divided we fall. It seems like we're falling right now, can't come together at all. I see a lot of hate, I see a lot of love. That's where the battle lines are drawn. When it comes to push and shove, I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I can't help rooting for love. Can't help rooting for love. I grew up on John Lennon and Marvin Gaye too. Sing about the power of love and brotherhood. We stood side by side, trying to take down the walls. Yeah, I'm not sure it meant anything. Beards grow longer, that's all. And I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I can't help rooting for love. Can't help rooting for love. It's in my blood, I can't help rooting for love. Can't help rooting for love. They say united we stand, and divided we fall. It seems like we're falling right now, can't come together at all. Still I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I'm rooting for love. It's in my blood, I can't help rooting for love. 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 Love, love, love. Right on. Thank you. Strange Birds, rooting for love.
Nothing strange about those birds. They're just talented. So we got some talented birds here today. Good morning, everyone. You are among the very brave, because it's very cold out. And you see, Unity is mostly fair weather birds. So there's a lot of people not here because they're at home watching it on live stream. And I'm not going to fault them for that, but that just is the way things are this morning. But I'm glad to have you with us, and I'm going to share with you something that's hard to talk about. A little while back, about 3 or 4 months, I had a call from somebody who's a member of the congregation saying to me, I've got a friend who's really in need of help. He needs to talk to somebody, counsel to somebody. Now, he hasn't been to church, but he really needs to talk to somebody. I said, okay, because I only do emergency counseling now. I used to do regular counseling, but it was too many people. They'd be lined up to counsel. So I only do emergency counseling. This person knew that, so he called up and said, but my friend is really... And so I sounded like an emergency. I said, all right, I'll see him. So we arranged to have him come in and see me in my office, and he sat down and he started talking, telling me the problems that he had. And I started to give him some insights into the spiritual reality that the only thing we're responsible for is the motivation of our hearts. And I spoke to him for about another, maybe 30 seconds, and he said to me, do you know anybody that I can go to who is enlightened? This is a true story. And that kind of cut me to the quick. So anything can happen to you in the ministry, and has happened to me. Name something that hasn't happened to me. Anybody?
Alien abduction.
What?
Alien abduction.
Yeah, I know, I've been adopted. Absolutely. Anybody else want to try? No, I have never been abducted. All right. And by the way, this is a monologue. This is not a dialogue. That was a rhetorical question I asked. You're not supposed to answer. Okay. Anyway, last Sunday, I revealed what I believe is the most effective, shortest path to the enlightened life or the enlightened awareness. And it has to do with this refined truth and definition of love. So I left everyone last week, my final quote last week was this. I'll share it with you now. This is from A Course in Miracles text, page 92, or in the new edition, it's on page 100. You are only love. But when you deny this, you make what you are something you must learn to remember. Teach only love, for this is what you are. This is the one lesson that is perfectly unified because it is the only lesson that is one. Only by teaching it can you learn it. As you teach, so will you learn. If that is true, and it is true indeed, do not forget that what you teach is teaching you. And what you project or extend, you believe. Can we take this back again, please? You are only love. But when you deny this, you make what you are something you must learn to remember. That, by the way, is the whole spiritual journey. Right there, learning to remember our reality as sons and daughters of that divine intelligence which is love. Teach only love, for this is what you are. This is the one lesson that is perfectly unified, because it is the only lesson that is one. That means universal. It's the lesson every one of us should be involved with. Only by teaching it can you learn it. Only by teaching it can you learn it. As you teach, so will you learn. If that is true, and it is true indeed, what you are teaching is teaching you. And what you project or extend, you believe. We should really take a moment to consider that what you are teaching is teaching you. This is so beautifully designed to reveal to us the only karma, the only real karma. And well, if you talk to people in the outer directed, illusion different life of the world, you have a lot of different definitions of karma and what they think it has to do with. Some people still believe it has to do with past lives or something like that. But here you have the definition, the only true definition of karma. What you are deeply believing and putting out there is what is returning to you in your experiences, the relationships you have, and how you see everything. But how you look at life is determined by your deep belief, your in-look on what you believe and what you truly feel and what you think. So, in essence, no two people are living in the same world, because each of us begins, at least, by living in the world of his or her most deeply held beliefs. And so, what this is explaining to us, it's what you're putting out. And when it says what you teach is teaching you, it's not saying that teaching by using words, sentences, and lessons. It's saying what you are believing and how you are living and conducting your own experience is radiating, in effect, to everything around you. Everything around you actually senses what you are believing, feeling, and thinking. So it's revealed and returning to you in your life. That's the only real karma. And if you want to rise above what may appear to you to be limited karma happening in your experience, things in your life you don't want, things in your life that seem difficult, challenges that come to you that you don't want anymore, then the way to do that is to change your mind. Change what you deeply are believing and how you are projecting the life you are living. Now, this doesn't seem real to us who have been born into an illusionary definition of life. We have been born and raised in an illusionary concept of existence. We believe as we are born that we are separate body minds in a world of separate others, in a world of separate phenomena, which doesn't necessarily have any regard for our interests. That is a surface limited concept of reality. But the entire world is kind of bought into it. It's an ongoing collective hypnosis in the outer directed world, and all you have to do is look at the outer directed world to realize that there's no real harmony or true peace or even true love. What you have in the outer directed, illusion-driven world is a lot of conflict, a lot of fear, a lot of pain, a lot of fighting, a lot of vengeance. That's what's going on in the outer directed world. But the beautiful thing about that, when the Master of Life said this, in the world, and he's speaking about this world we're all born and raised and educated in the world you will have tribulation. And there are no exceptions to that statement. Everybody living in that idea of life is suffering tribulation. But then it goes on to say, but I have overcome the world. And it goes on to say, I bring you a peace that is not of the world. And then it goes on to imply, follow me. And we're looking at a call to enter into a higher state of consciousness, in which it is stated, my disciples, they may be in the world, but they're no longer of the world. They live in a higher level of awareness, and their peace is guaranteed. Their joy, their love, their insight, their understanding is guaranteed, because they live in the consciousness of this intelligence which gives us breath and life and says to us, if you will just be my people, I will be your God. But if you're going to carry on in the illusion of your separation, in your fear, in your consternation, in your concern and your regret and your disgust, your difficulties, if you're going to carry on in the illusion of that idea from your separate, defined, egocentric idea of self, being a body, encapsulated mind, how can you find me? How can you be healed? If you want this life and you want it abundantly, then you have to return to your divine core, made in the image and likeness of God, the essence of love. That is our return, and that return brings you where? Into the very kingdom of heaven which is in your midst. That's what the scripture says. It didn't say it's far off someplace. It says it's within you. In the Gospel of Thomas, it says it is not only within you, it is all around you, but you don't see it. So, that is what we're dealing with today. This path that I'm speaking of is the simplest, most direct path to entering into the consciousness divine, the consciousness of God. Because this is a reciprocal world, the thoughts and feelings that one embraces within, one will see without. That's what projection, that's what perception is. This is why in the world we must practice teaching only love. And to do that, we have to become only love in what we do. It is also said, and this I said last week as well, that we make ourselves ambassadors of love. But to do that, we have to know the truth. You can't make yourself an ambassador of love by willing yourself to be loving. you have to know the truth. And that truth is related as knowing yourself to be one. One with everything and everyone. And it's written this way in the Gospel of Thomas. Let's take a look at this. This is just a very interesting way to relate this. Jesus said to all seekers of truth, when you make the two one, and when you make the inner as the outer, and the outer as the inner, and the above as the below, and when you make the male and the female into a single one, so that the male will not be male and the female not be female, then shall you enter the kingdom. And by the way, if you don't get anything else here today, whenever you read the scripture, wherever you see kingdom, change it to the word consciousness. Because what we are about doing in reality is entering the consciousness of God. And the kingdom of God is not some geographical location, never was thought that way or taught that way by the masters of life. It's the same as the Garden of Eden is not some place that existed geographically. The Garden of Eden is a state of consciousness. And we have fallen from that state of consciousness, and we are seeking to return to it. And the way to return to it is to understand that everything you look upon is only God. Everyone you look upon is someone whose inner core is seeking to return to the majesty and the miracle of being alive, which we pass by every day. The miracle of being alive, yes, the miracle of the moment in which you find yourself. You have everything you need to understand in that moment how to be extraordinary, or how not to be extraordinary if you so decide. But here is the way the Gospel of Thomas speaks to it. When you make the two one, that's the duality of believing that you are separate from everything you look upon, every other person. That's the duality. You're operating from the ego-centered, limited surface consciousness. That's the duality, and that's the underlying cause of all conflict in human experience. And when you make the inner as the outer, and the outer as the inner, and the above as the below, and when you make the male and the female into a single one, so that the male will not be male and the female will not be female, then shall you enter into the kingdom, because then your vision will be that everything you look upon, its origin, its nature is divine. It is God. It is worthy of that which you are called upon to do, to bless, to be compassionate, to be considerate, to be loving of. But this may not work for you because it's written in a very interesting way. Let's take a look at the Master Eckhart Tolle, how he relates the same truth. This is from his book, Stillness Speaks. You can read it on page 43, paragraph 2. The now is as it is because it cannot be otherwise. What Buddhists have always known, physicists now confirm. There are no isolated things or events. Underneath the surface appearance, all things are interconnected, are part of the totality of the cosmos that has brought about the form that this moment takes. So, we are conditioned over a long stretch of time to think that conditions and circumstances rise separate and apart from us. And so we react to them in that way. When conditions and circumstances are meeting our expectations, our demands, our personal opinions are experienced and accepted, then we're at peace. But so often the conditions and circumstances are not in keeping with what we want. And so we have a feeling of negativity or limitation, and it can get very deep and very strong, and it can take us out of feeling anything near good. So we don't feel God, and what we do feel is our own grievance. So we hold grievances. This is not going the way I would want it to go, expect it to go, demand it to go. And what Eckhart Tolle is telling you right here, circumstances and conditions do not rise separate and apart from your consciousness. They rise with you. Everything you're looking upon is but the reflection of your own consciousness. And if you don't like what you're looking upon, and you're alienated by it too often, change your mind. Begin to look past the seeming foibles and problems that come your way. Look past them and do something different. Instead of resenting them and resisting them, bless them, forgive them, release them. Right now, do you believe in the possibility that what I am saying is true, that this consciousness that we are seeking, the consciousness of heaven, is actually in our midst? And we could actually see it and experience it from now on if we could open ourselves to withdraw our attention from the limited thinking of the world and the grievances that we believe exist outside of ourselves, and know that we can heal the mind from within. Do you believe in the possibility of that? If you do, put $100 in the offering. Don't just give me that lip-syncing stuff. So, I want to get to the heart of this whole concept that love is the quickest, most effective yoga. And by following that in a meaningful way, we will enter into the knowledge of the masters, the presence of God. And we have to embrace this essential truth, and let's take a look at it in A Course in Miracles. You can read this in the old text on page 203, or in the new edition on page 218. Miracles are merely the translation of denial into truth. If to love oneself is to heal oneself, those who are sick do not love themselves. Therefore, they are asking for the love that would heal them, but which they are denying to themselves. If they knew the truth about themselves, they could not be sick. The task of the miracle worker then, thus, becomes to deny the denial of truth. The sick must heal themselves, for the truth is in them. Yet having obscured it, the light in another mind must shine into theirs, because that light is theirs. Perceive in sickness but another call for love, and offer any other what he or she believes he cannot offer himself. Whatever the sickness, there is but one remedy. You will be made whole as you make whole. For to perceive in sickness the appeal for health is to recognize in hatred the call for love. We'll stop it there for a moment. Let's take this back a moment, please. Take it all the way back to the first paragraph. Miracles are merely the translation of denial into truth. In essence, what it is saying is, you can have and enter into a miracle awareness. a miracle working awareness. If you can release your denial of the truth, and that truth is that you are interconnected with everything that lives. It goes on to say, if to love oneself is to heal oneself, those who are sick do not love themselves. Now here's the problem. In the outer-directed, illusion-driven definition of life, when we refer to self, we are referring to this limited, isolated, body-encapsulated self. Supposing that myself is this separate personality in this world of separate conditions. That's not the self A Course in Miracles is referring to. The self A Course in Miracles is referring to is the self that includes everyone and excludes no one. Can you see how we can do away with the dogma of religion? If, in fact, we actually began to feel our interconnectedness with everything there is, and so that everything that we see is something sacred, worthy of forgiveness, worthy of compassion, worthy of help and love. If we actually began to feel that and recognize that, and here's the beautiful part about this, you can prove this yoga. If you take to task your own awareness, and you use an affirmation or an ideal, and you carry that with you into your day every day, and it becomes the priority of your experience in your life, you will see things around you change toward you, because we are all interconnected. And whatever it is you are putting out there is what you will receive back. So it's saying to you, therefore, those you are looking upon do not love themselves if they're not feeling well. Therefore, they are asking for the love that would heal them, but which they are denying to themselves. If they knew the truth about themselves, that they are interconnected with everything they look at, they could not be sick. Because sickness is the separation, is the illusion, and it is the denial of your joy, your happiness, and your peace. Can we keep going with this? Thank you. The sick must heal themselves, for the truth is in them, yet having obscured it, the light in another mind must shine into theirs, because that light is theirs. Perceive in sickness but another call for love, and offer any other what he believes he cannot offer himself. Let's keep going. Whatever the sickness, there is but one remedy. You will be made whole as you make whole. For to perceive in sickness the appeal for health is to recognize in hatred the call for love. And to give another what he or she really wants is to offer it unto yourself, because it is in fact in giving that you are receiving. Not on some distant day, not when you drop the body and go to some place you think is heaven, but right now, right where you are, the universe in which you find yourself is honorable, totally honorable. And that's why it says you're reaping what you sow. And so give another whatever he or she really wants, which is love, compassion, caring, peace, is to offer it to yourself. For your Father of life wills you to know all others as yourself. Answer each call for love, and yours is answered. You know, it's interesting, because it's easier for us to see the limitations in the minds of others, and it's harder for us to recognize them within ourselves. That's why the scripture says, you see the speck in your brother or sister's eye, but don't notice the log in your own eye. But let me share a story with you that I cut out of a book by a guru. This is an Indian guru speaking about another Indian guru. One morning, Shankara, a venerated holy man in India, went to take his ritual bath in the Ganges River, thinking with the old Brahmin type of mind that the Ganges can make you pure. When he was coming back after taking his bath, one untouchable touched him. He became very angry and he said, "What have you done? I will have to go and take another bath. You have defiled me." It is said that the untouchable replied, "Then your Ganges is worthless, because if the Ganges purifies you, and right now, fresh purified, you come and I touch you and you become defiled, I am greater than your Ganges." And the untouchable continued, "What type of holy man are you? Because I have heard you say that in everyone the one exists. So allow me to ask a question, whether the touch of my body has defiled you. If so, that means my body can touch the divine one in you. But you say the body is an illusion, just a dream. And how can a dream touch the reality? And how can a dream defile the reality of the one? That which is not, how can it defile that which is?" It is said that Shankara bowed down and said to the untouchable, "Up to now, I was only thinking about the one. It was just a philosophy. Now you have indicated the right path. Now nobody can defile me. Now I understand. One exists. Only one exists. And the same is in me, and the same is in you." Then Shankara said, and tried very hard to find out who this man was. But he could never find out, because the mind thinks God comes and goes. But in truth, God, as true love, is always present. And that actually fits with the whole truth that God is omnipresent. The fact that we fail to recognize that presence and operate from that presence is simply something we are doing in opposition to reality. And while we were born and raised to live and think in terms of unreality, it still doesn't change the fact of this presence available to us in every moment. So there is now, there never has been, there never can be, there never will be any absence of God. There will never be any absence, any opportunity in which you could not rise to love. And in that rising, you would feel good. To feel good is to feel God. And to feel good in that manner is to know the presence divine that is not contingent upon circumstances meeting your personal point of view, your personal desires, your dictates, your demands, that entire world that you have served in an attempt to put it together, manipulate it, make it work so it fits your personal point of view. All of that you have done and seem like you want to continue to do is futile. You will never find happiness that way. If you want true happiness, you have to find reality. If you find reality, you know that you are eternal. And you are living in a physical body capable of reflecting upon your thoughts and your actions. And the hope of it all in this school called life is that you will be awake in living and start to live in accordance with the whole ideal that everything I look upon, everything I see is only God looking back at me. Take a few minutes for meditation together. Just take a couple of deep breaths as you release your breath. Release any cares or concerns you may have. We're going to use the name of God, which was given to Moses in the book of Exodus. I am. Tell the children of Israel that I am. My name forever is I am. So let's use that name now and take these divine thoughts into your true self. I am he. I am they. I am you. I am she. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know that I am God. I am they. I am she. I am you. I am he. I am the mountains, the forest, and the sea. I am the creatures, the desert, and the stars you see. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know that I am God. I am they, them, all those others. I am you. I am she. I am the forests, the deserts, the mountains, and the sea. I am the creatures. I am the soil. I am the trees of life. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know that I am love. as we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space. Let us go forth with a greater determination to acknowledge the healing power of love in our thoughts, our relationships, and our actions. For this opportunity in every moment, we give thanks. To this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And
I'm going to go ahead and tell some people some details about that.
all right, have to.
Thank you, Jack. I so appreciate your presence and depth. I think a clear sign of someone who's really spiritually grounded is can just show up on a moment's notice and fill in, and so thank you. So yes, this is the time where we ask you to contribute to the flow of this community, and therefore your life and peace on this planet. We have all these ways to give, including that really simple QR code there, which is also on a card on the back of your pew. And if you're watching online, you can go ahead and scan that QR code, and it takes you right to our donation page, and you can learn about all the different aspects of donating. I'm going to quickly read you one of my favorite quotes from Jesus, which is the following. Give, and you will be given to, in good measure, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing right into your lap. For the degree that you give is the degree in which you receive. That's Luke chapter 6, verse 38. Thank you.
As we take and bring to mind that gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder, and those of you in the sanctuary who would bring your gift into your hands, let's bless that gift with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have the opportunity to listen to the strange birds share their music with us once again. Yes, 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 they are so worthy of some acknowledgement.
Thank you, Jack.
This is another song off of Highway Islands, and this song is called North Star. I grew up in Wisconsin as a young girl. I moved out here when I was 19. I've been in Colorado ever since, but every summer we go to northern Wisconsin, up to Lake Superior, and it's always been just a really beautiful, powerful place for me. And when I was writing this song, we were just coming out of our isolation. I was seeing my kids. We have 3 sons for the first time. We've been safe harboring my mom for many months. And I felt like I needed to write something just uplifting and kind of like I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. Can you think of what it would be? Like, well, encouraging, but like just like a get up and go, kind of yay. So this is called North Star.
Hey, I'm gonna keep my head on straight, living in a crooked time. star. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the road. It's not the end of the line, my friend. It's just the end of the show. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the road. It's not the end of the line. It's just the end of the show. It's just the end of the show. It's just the end of the show. I'm gonna keep my head on straight.
Thank you.
Thanks, North Star, Carrie Miner. Thanks so much.
Okay, we have going on in that fellowship hall a YOU bake sale. And let me say this, whenever you can get a bunch of teenagers out at night, they spent all night baking things. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing, some other thing. They're not at a bar or something. They're really working to bake all the goodies they have out there on the table. And so this is what they do to raise money so that they can go to these different retreats that are so great and wonderful for them. So honor that by going to Fellowship Hall and buying some of their baked goods. The other thing is that Divine Feminine workshop that you have going on today is about the best thing in a Divine Feminine workshop taking place in the world. So if you have the time, you ought to get to it. Are you ready?
Okay, shall we rise and sing our closing song? And, this is a statement for peace. And we really have to start meditating, and at our end of our meditations, just send out and see the world engulfed in peace. Whatever there needs to be to find that center, they need to talk and they need to find a solution. And let's see them finding a solution to stop all this nonsense all over the world. So let's just get our energy going in prayer.
Okay. Speaking about prayer, I want to say to you that these wonderful people over here wearing the white shifts on their neck, these are our prayer team. This is them. If you have a particular challenge you want to pray with them about, just remain seated as everyone else files out of the sanctuary. They will come to you, and you can go down to our beautiful meditation room, share a prayer, or you can share it right here if you so decide. And finally, my thanks to the Strange Birds, who are so talented, the most amazing guitar playing.
What an incredible
fantastic
sound.
Yeah.
And what beautiful poetry and music. Oh my God, you're so incredible.
Okay.
What a blessing.
So, we're going to sing this song in relationship to the people in Ukraine.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands of far and mine. This is my home, the country most important part. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams the same as mine. Big amen. Amen. Yes, you're setting that power out there. Now let's do our releasing. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Okay, it's on you.
In the Spirit, and my heart. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. With my faith, I'm free. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes!
Yeah.
You are awesome.
Okay.
So we have refreshments in Fellowship Hall. Don't miss it. And meet each other. Make friends. These are wonderful people to know.